street food.
Street foodies, I'm trying something new this week. I want to try to teach you guys a Chinese card game. Okay? We're gonna call this a cultural focus episode, which is a fancy way of saying they're not really a snack. Although, if you stick around to the end, we will feature a kind of snack. It's something you eat, kind of, not really. Card games are very popular in China. Which game you play probably depends on where you come from. Mahjong is popular, of course, as well as poker. There's this game called Shaanxi. It's a turn-based card game that's set in the Three Kingdoms period. It's pretty fun, it's also pretty complicated. The game I'm going to feature today is a 3-person card game. If you go out on the street in Xi'an right now, I guarantee you will find 3 guys playing this game and a crowd of people huddled around them watching them play this game. It is an immensely popular card game in Shaanxi province, and it's called Dou Di Zhu, which can be translated Beat the Landowner. Abuse of power plays a role in the histories of most nations, and China's no different. At many points during their history, the ruling class abused the poor and were therefore despised. Of course, the poor then rose up and abused a lot of innocent landlords and their families. Nobody really comes out clean. I mention this only because it's the phenomenon around which this game is based. You got 3 players, 2 farmers, 1 landowner, and the 2 farmers work together as a team to try to beat the 1 landowner. It's a betting game, so all 3 players put in an equal amount of money, and if either one of the 2 farmers win, then they both get paid. That means if you're the landowner and you lose, you gotta pay out double, but if you win, you get paid double. Double the risk, double the reward. So if you've got good cards and you're brave, you want to be the landowner. Speaking of brave, this is my friend, and her name is Brave. I asked her to come over and teach me how to play Dou Di Zhu. You start by dealing 3 cards to the center of the table, and then you deal out the rest of the cards, including the jokers. There's different ways of selecting who gets to be the landowner. For example, if you have the 4 of hearts, then you get first choice. If you want to be the landowner, you can. Or instead of dealing all the cards out, you can flip a card over, cover it, and then each player draws their hand. Whoever gets the face-up card, whatever that card is, then has the choice of do they want to be the landowner or not. If you have bad cards, you don't want to be the landowner, so then you can pass, and the next player in turn has the choice, do they want to be landowner or not. Once the rolls are set, the landowner flips over the 3 cards in the middle, everybody gets to see them, and then the landowner gets to keep those cards. The object of the game is to be the first one to get rid of all your cards. A 3 is the lowest card. A joker is the highest card. In Chinese they call the jokers Wang, which means king. It's a little confusing because they already have kings in the deck, but they just call the kings K. I don't know. The joker's the highest, below that is the 2, below that is the ace, and then king all the way down to 3. If you're the landowner, you go first. So what can you lay down? You can lay down a single card, you can lay down a pair, you cannot lay down 2 pair, but you can lay down 3 pair in sequence. And if you have more than that, you can keep going, up to 5 pairs in sequence. In Chinese, a sequence of pairs is called 串对. If you lay down 3 of a kind, you can also add an extra card in that you don't want. So it's like 3 plus 1. In Chinese, you call it 三带一. A full house is called 三带二, 3 plus 2. You can lay down 4 of a kind, that's called a bomb. If you have 2 3s of a kind, you can lay both of those down, and both of them can have an extra card attached to it. So it's 3 plus 1 and 3 plus 1. In Chinese they call that 飞机, that means airplane. These are the different kinds of hands you can lay down. No matter what you lay down, the next person in turn has to lay down the same type of hand, but higher. So if you play a pair of 4s, they gotta play a pair of 5s or higher. If they don't have a pair, they can't go, they have to pass. If you lay down 飞机, they also have to lay down 飞机, but higher. If you lay down a run of cards from 3 to 7, they also have to lay down a sequence of 5 cards in a row, but higher. So you keep playing around in a circle until 2 people pass. The winner of that round then leads with a new hand of a single card, or a pair, or a straight, or whatever. So if she plays a pair, and I don't have a pair higher than hers, I can't go, I have to pass. The exception is if you have a bomb, 4 of a kind, or both jokers. Anytime it's your turn, you can play a bomb, no matter what's come before you, and you automatically win that round, and you get to start it over again. So bomb's pretty powerful. So that's how you play. The first player to run out of cards is the winner, and like I said, if you're the landowner, you get paid double. There's a lot of strategy, most of which went over my head. I could only win when this guy Jerry helped me. I'm going to include written directions for the game in the description of this video. If you like to play cards, try it out with some of your friends and let me know how it goes. Now, since this is the China Cultural Focus episode, I'm going to talk to you about a particular facet of Chinese culture. I'm going to talk to you about how we handle catching a cold in China. So, I am sick. Wanting to bond a little more with Chinese culture, I've decided to go to a Chinese pharmacy and buy some Chinese medicine. Now, I asked my Chinese friends, what kind of medicine should I buy? They gave me the worst advice because it was all different. Everyone said,
take this. No, you don't want to take that. I took that when I was a kid. It was terrible.
And most Chinese pharmacies have a contemporary looking drug section. And then they have a section in the back with like mushrooms and wooden drawers with who knows what in them. It's kind of hard for a foreigner to get access to that section of the pharmacy since I don't really know what's in there to be asking for. But I kind of wish I did. They can sell drugs a lot stronger here than they can in the States. There's one, for instance, it's called Black and White. It's like NyQuil and DayQuil, but much more powerful. There's also this kind of drink powder, it's called Banlangan. You just add hot water and you get like a brown sugar medicine tea. It kind of tastes like cider. One time I drank it and I had the straight up craziest dreams. It could have been unrelated, but I don't really drink that anymore. You can also make something similar, legit style, like this. Yes, a bonus recipe. When we get a cold, we make this kind of tea. You get a pear and you wash it and you slice it, leave the peel on. Then you wash and slice some ginger, also with the peel still on. You boil them together with some water and some brown sugar until the fruit gets soft. The more ginger you add, the spicier it is on your throat. It feels pretty good after you get used to it. If you're Chinese, then there's a very good chance that you drank something like this when you were a kid and you caught a cold. Chinese viewers, chime in the comments and let me know if I'm right. Finally this week, I have to announce that we are halfway through Season 6, which means it's time for this season's episode of Viewer Mail. This year, I'm just going to be taking questions from the comment section of this episode. So go into the comments, write, "Dear Street Food," followed by your question, and in 2 weeks, in our Viewer Mail episode, I'll make an effort to answer it. If you guys don't ask me any questions, it will be a very short episode. Thank you for watching this episode, and I will see you in 2 weeks with Viewer Mail. Until then, y'all eat on the street. Watch out for the pear sign. Street food.
Sometimes tea and Chinese medicine are like interchangeable. Oh, see, got your mushrooms, black fungus.
我们这个需要身份证。